team madness. I mean, Sid Vicious, you look at him and you realize that Darwinian man, although well-behaved, is merely a Sasquatch, well-shaved.
That's very philosophical.
That's why I was the philosopher champion.
You know, I was just thinking about Randy Savage and what must be going through his mind after we saw Monday on Nitro that Kevin Nash left the United Center with Gorgeous George up on his shoulder, and Tori as well, and Tori seemed to be quite happy to be leaving with Kevin Nash.
Yeah, looks like Kevin Nash won after all.
Well, of course, we saw that Sid and Randy Savage have possession of Nash's World's Heavyweight title belt, but as Nitro went off the air, I think it was obvious to a lot of people that Sting was behind the wheel of the Hummer, at least the Hummer that was in Chicago on Monday night.
Wait a minute before Perry Mason comes running in here. I mean, it was a face of Sting. It looked like Sting. I'm not saying it wasn't Sting, not saying it was, but again, I see hundreds of Stings right here out in the audience. I mean, there's Sting masks, and the New World Order had a Sting that looked like Sting. Don't start the rumors. That's for the hotline.
Well, you talk about world orders, and I'm just thinking as we see this confrontation between Eddie Guerrero, the former leader of the Latino World Order, and a man who at one time was a member of the LWO. You saw Guerrero motioning to La Parka about removing a T-shirt.
Well, that's still haunting Eddie. I mean, he went through a lot of work and had a lot of pride in what he wanted to start at the time, the LWO. And I tell you, when Flair came out and waved a few bucks around, those luchadors whipped off those shirts quicker than a hot guy looking at a swimming pool.
And those luchadors, among them, La Parka, showed absolutely no allegiance to Eddie Guerrero, and it just may be payback time in the mind of Eddie.
Well, you know what they say, payback's a wife.
Into the corner, Guerrero able to avoid the on-charging La Parka.
And them bones were rattling, brother.
Now Guerrero sizes him up. La Parka lifts him up into the air in the back body drop. Eddie in mid-air caught the top turnbuckle with his face. Nice drop toe hold by Guerrero. He answered with a similar move.
See, and that is great movement. Good balance. You got a nice snap. Even when you're dazed, even when you're wobbly, you can pull off a nice move like that. But Eddie walked right back into one. He rolls out of it. He got him.
Gets right back up to his feet and takes La Parka down with the clothesline. And of course, Eddie Guerrero has been on an undefeated streak since returning to World Championship Wrestling. Oh, he just took La Parka by the back of the mask and slid him right out onto the arena floor.
Oh, the guy's wrestling on ice. I tell you, it's good to see Eddie Guerrero back, 100% physical shape. I mean, this guy, did the world's longest frog splash, but it's good to see he's okay.
Just in phenomenal condition. There you see the slingshot move by Guerrero into the cross-body block as he just laid out La Parka.
Hey, taking advantage of it. You're outside the ring 20, 30 feet. Normally you think you're okay. You're going to catch your breath. But not with some of these guys. You're in Never Never Land.
Now Guerrero, he just sent La Parka back first into the steel safety rail. Well, La Parka likes to strut, but he got about 2 feet before he went down in a heap.
No, I think his ankle bone's connected to his rib bone.
Well, and now Eddie takes La Parka by the back of the mask, drives him face first into the steel steps. It's been a very lenient referee, Billy Silverman, in employing the count while both of these men are battling out on the floor.
Some of the referees will let the count go a little longer than they should if both men are out because they want the match to continue. They want a winner. If it goes too much, they'll throw it out, but they frown upon throwing out matches because they want to have some kind of an official ending. Again, it varies on your referee.
Well, that was the official La Parka strut met by the official Eddie clothesline. Larry, we need to step aside for a commercial break. More action when we return. whatever station, TBS, This is Thunder. Matchup continues between Eddie Guerrero and La Parka, and Guerrero dominant during the commercial break, Larry. He has been in control of much of this match.
Yeah, he's been on the offense, maintained control of it, been all over La Parka, but even La Parka's outside, Eddie was out there. Very aggressive nature. I mean, I know all the Guerreros. They've got a short fuse to begin with. Oh, and Eddie just got one knocked off.
He just got nailed by La Parka. Walked right into that move, but it appears that La Parka needs to clear the cobwebs before he makes the cover. Gets two, but Eddie's able to kick out.
Well, La Parka's a little wobbly there, but I tell you, he got a good shot in. Couldn't follow it up fast enough with that, so ever important combination wrestling. And Eddie got out of it, but Eddie's days. That was a heck of a shot. And there's a field goal.
And now let's see if La Parka can follow up his advantage that he has. Takes the boot and just nailed Eddie right in the side, right in the ribcage with that big kick.
I have no idea what he's saying.
We need a translator for that. La Parka now slow to follow up the edge that he did have. Picks up Eddie. Now he's going to shoot him off diagonally into the corner, and follows up. He rocked the head of Guerrero with the clothesline in the corner.
Again, yeah, trapped him in the corner, taking advantage of the size La Parka has, biggest of the luchador contingency, and I don't know if throwing sweat on somebody's going to beat him, but stay on him.
Again, another reminder that Bret the Hitman Hart will make his return to World Championship Wrestling this Monday, July the 5th at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. We haven't heard from Bret in terms of professional wrestling in some 3 months. And I would think that he's going to have an awful lot to say Monday on Nitro about his future in this sport.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Bret Hart has come to the crossroads of life, which we all do sooner or later, and he will be there Monday.
Well, that's an interesting way to break the move, and Guerrero to his feet, pair of knife-edge chops, shoots La Parka off into the rope, and just caught him with the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Boy, nice snap. I tell you, get that small of the back landing on someone's knee with that kind of momentum from spinning your body. I mean, you can make a chiropractor a fortune.
Well, La Parka rolls out to the floor to try and slow down the offense. Conveniently, the chairman of WCW has a steel chair out on the floor, and he just caught Eddie twice in the midsection with the steel chair.
Well, La Parka's getting desperate. That's a sign of getting desperate to me. I mean, he can't keep up with Eddie. Eddie's been in control 90% of the match so far. I think La Parka's just digging down deep and desperate. He's going to use whatever he can here.
Certainly putting a halt to any offensive momentum that Eddie Guerrero had using the chair. Now the kick.
Hey, if we're lucky, he'll start hitting him with Penzer.
See Penzer around ringside? I think Penzer bailed out of here.
That's a little chubby guy, looks like a penguin.
Hook of the leg, gets two, and did not really have very good weight positioning on the pinfall attempt that time from La Parka, and Guerrero was able to easily get the shoulder up.
Well, La Parka's moving, but again, I don't think he's fully recovered from the attack of Eddie Guerrero. This may help even up the situation. La Parka can just sit on there, crank back on the chin, sit low on the small of the back, and La Parka can get his wind back as Eddie's suffering.
Well, we saw first the reverse chin lock, then a variation of the camel clutch applied by La Parka. And interesting to note that that camel clutch was one of the top finishing moves of Eddie Guerrero's father, the Mexican legendary star Gory Guerrero. So maybe La Parka was sending some kind of a message to Eddie.
I think Eddie was just in the right position, and La Parka threw it on.
Well, look at this.
When you're wrestling, you don't go into that much thought, Professor.
He's got the tail of Eddie Guerrero's hair, and what was he doing? He had it in his mouth, pulling back on it.
Well, I mean, long hair, is a perfect handle. I mean, guys will control your whole body with your head, and La Parka hooked him up with suplex, kept his weight on him, but he got up.
I'm surprised. He hit the belly-to-belly suplex. He had Guerrero in mid-ring, and I'm shocked that he didn't go for the pinfall attempt.
Yeah, he's going for something big here.
Quickly springs to the top, went for the corkscrew moonsault, and caught nothing but canvas.
Yeah, you can chalk up. That was a big mistake on La Parka's part there. And look at Eddie move.
Guerrero charges out of the corner, quickly up to the top. There's the frog splash, hit to perfection. Gets two and beat it.
Shorter version of the one he hit a few months ago, but a lot less damaging.
Eddie Guerrero